So the first activity that I want to do based on what I learned at Schoology Next is to improve my parent involvement and communication throughout the school year by using Schoology. Um, Obviously, the audience is my group of parents that I will have for my 21 students. The rationale for this is that I know this is an area that is not a strength of mine. It's something that every year I've worked to improve in. And I've gotten better over the years, but I know that I can still grow and have better communication with my parents as far as how their students are doing with their grades and all those sort of things. Um, I also want to create more buy-in from my parents, um, and I want to provide some better support to those parents that are rock stars and want to be a part of their kids' education. Currently, I just kind of I give them some things, but I would love to give them even more to be able to support their child, just as I would want to for my kids. The desired outcome is that we'll have some more parent involvement throughout the school year, is that parents will be more informed at report card time. There won't be parents that feel as though they haven't seen their students writing up to this point, that they know a little bit more about their child. And that I feel that parents know more about their students' sports life than they do about their academics. And my hope is that that starts to shift and they can understand better what's going on in the classroom, as well as to create more of a community and a family atmosphere with my classroom, but also with not just with my classroom and its students, but also with the parents at home. The implementation with this is that at our open house night, I am going to start by having Schoology stickers. And as parents come in, they will put the stickers on, showing me that they have been on to Schoology and they understand how to use it. If they don't have it, then I'm going to ask that they attend the um, little how-to portion that I will do after the open house. Um, those that want some more help with it can attend as well. There will be a time where I can answer questions, make sure everyone's logged in so they know how to get in there. And I know I'm not missing parents just because they haven't ever logged in. Um, then, as the year rolls on, I'm going to start the year by doing small shout outs using the update feature. One of the things I've done in the past is always used a group setting or a group for my parents instead of the course, but I'm going to start doing more coursework so that parents and students are all in one location. And one of the features that I want to use more is the updates and do some positive shout outs of kids and all their accomplishments, especially in the very first part of the year. That way, it's things that kids want to share with their parents, and they want to go home and show them on Schoology. So start getting the parents and the kids on. But it's also things that parents want to see themselves, so they're motivated to get onto Schoology. I also want to utilize the calendar feature more, and again, have it all in one location. So if I add something for the students, I'm also adding it for the parents. Um, and then as the course of the year goes on, I want to build up to having some live events where students can actually, or parents can actually see what's going on in the classroom, as well as having the students start to do their own updates on a more regular basis, whether that's through the portfolio feature or whether that's through a blog feature in the course. For the assessment of this, I'll first be looking to see how many parent emails I'm getting, kind of asking for clarification on homework or those sort of things. My goal is that I won't receive very many of these because it's all being communicated through Schoology. They know where to look, they know where to find things, and can kind of help themselves. Um, I also want to work to have 2 to 3 shout outs a week. Those are those positive little things put in the update that, again, motivate parents to go and look. I want to have at least one video update every 2 weeks where I am telling the parents what's going on in the classroom. And then by the end of the year, I want to have at least one live event. For my second activity, I am going to work to gamify my homework using Schoology. Several of the sessions that I went to were based around the gamification. This is something that I've done for several years now with my Michigan history studies, but now I want to look at doing it for my homework as well, based on some of the things that I saw at Schoology. The audience will be, of course, my students, but more specifically will be the group of students that tends to struggle more with completing homework. And this kind of goes into the rationale that lots of the students that don't do the homework simply don't do it because they just don't want to. They'd rather be outside or playing video games. And I want to use that love of video games and that obsession with video games to redirect them and engage them with our coursework. Because oftentimes those students that don't do the homework for those reasons are often the ones that struggle in the areas that we're attempting to practice at home and in school. Um, I also want to play with doing some blended learning where the students are watching videos at home and then in class we're doing the work. And in that way, we're shifting how we use our time in class. We're so booked thin for time that if I can start to shift some of that and they can get some of the learning out of the way from at home, and we can start focusing on the application of it in class, that would save us a lot of time. My desired outcomes would be to increase the homework completion, as well as to improve on the skills that I mentioned previously. Those skills would be like the math facts. Students will have nightly math facts that they have to practice. And I look to have those go up because, again, those are those skills that they're not practicing at home, so they're not really making as much growth throughout the year as those students that are practicing both at home and at school. For implementation of this, I will work to create a homework folder that is within my Schoology course and contains completion rules. I'll build this at the very beginning of the year with a lot of getting to know you assignments. And the purpose of the assignments will be as much to train them in how to do different things in Schoology, as well as to get them excited about it and get to know them so I can kind of use some of the information to differentiate as we're going. Um, I'll also work to train the parents at our open house and in those first few weeks as far as what the homework will look like and how to do the homework, since it will be different. Of course, I'll be training the students as well to make sure that we're ready to go. Then, as we're going, I'll continue to build the course and I'm sorry, not the course, the game as we're going, based on what's working well and what's not. Um, there will be points that the students can earn, and to help manage this, I'll be creating an additional course that just is for the XP, as we'll call it. We'll get XP very quickly in the beginning of the year to help hook students, as well as rewards, so they start to buy in and get even more excited about it and then build in complexity. And all those points will be housed in that separate course, so it's easy to manage for myself and for the students to find, but it's not something that the parents have to worry about seeing, this kid got 100 points and being curious as to what that is. Um, there'll be a set um, list of homework that is predictable. So, for example, every night the students will have 20 minutes of reading, as well as 5 minutes of math fact practice. And there'll be other things that are assigned throughout the week, but I want to have that set list so there's something predictable for parents. I'll post what the homework is every 2 weeks, and they'll have 2 weeks to finish that homework to receive points. There'll be a sheet that they can fill out and turn in to me at any point. So if they get it done in the first day, they can get their points right away. But if they take the full week, then they can turn it in at the end of the full 2 weeks. And this sheet will help to organize it for myself, but also to make it clear for parents as to what is going on and what is needed to be done when. Finally, the assessment of this, I will shoot to have 90 to 95% homework completion, as well as improvement in those skill areas. So in the reading skills and in my math skills. That's how I will know if this is going well. Also, the parent feedback and student feedback, if they are truly more engaged and parents are more thankful of it because the kids are enjoying it, not having to force them to do.